know that's the right thing for the wealthiest nation in the world to do. And today, I'm announcing over $1 billion in new humanitarian support for Africans displaced from homes by historic droughts and food insecurity. We know African leaders and citizens are seeking more than just aid. You seek investment.
The people in
So
North
the United
Carolina
States
are
is
in the
expanding our
cold
relationship
with no
all across Africa.
fucking money and
assistance
houses
to
are homeless.
Investment to
Oh
trade.
my God, dude.
Moving from patrons to
I'm
partners.
sick to my fucking stomach.
To help bridge the infrastructure
I'm fucking
gap.
sick to my...
I was told, by the way, when I got elected, I could never get an infrastructure bill passed.
I have a little something to say to that organization that starts with an F and ends in an A that recently came out and did a press conference and said that you shouldn't trust your neighbor because they are not experts in disaster relief and we got this. Let me tell you how much you've got this. I'm a stay-at-home mom who homeschools 3 kids. Somehow I ended up being that neighbor that is out building houses to make sure that people don't freeze to death. Right now we got 2 situations. Got a man that was kicked out of his house who wrapped himself in insulation so he could sleep in a chicken coop and stay alive. And another 77-year-old man in a wheelchair living in a garage shed. Not a shed that's been outfitted to stay warm, but a shed that someone uses to store their stuff in. That's where he's at, freezing. And so where is the help, right? Because all I see right now is a bunch of neighbors doing something and the other organization doing nothing.
But they arrested David James. If you don't know who David James is, he is the one that orchestrated the road from Bat Cave to Chimney Rock so that those people could search for their loved ones and get to their properties. Apparently, his wife uploaded a video onto TikTok last night that he, with him on his way, it's him speaking on his way to the Henderson County Sheriff Department. I called Henderson County Sheriff Department. I left a message with their media lady, and I spoke to their records. They say he was arrested on a traffic charge. Now, what he says in the video is that they are arresting him for cutting that fence from Bat Cave to Chimney Rock. $288,000 fence? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
How's it going, guys? If I posted this video, it's because the rumors I heard were true. Henderson County Sheriff's Office was looking for me in relation to the Bat Cave gate that FEMA installed. Now, for those who aren't aware, I founded the hub in Bat Cave. We brought in the West Virginia boys to cut that road to establish vital supply lines between Bat Cave and Chimney Rock, and also to allow access to property owners who lived along that 2.5 mile stretch that was completely unpassable and for many humans unhikeable. They're alleging that I took a chainsaw to this gate that FEMA advanced $288,000 to install with armed security and everything. But they're alleging that I cut down the gates. I'm gonna go face the charges now. I'm not sure if they're gonna give me bail or what the situation is, but just give me some support, y'all. We put that road in for the people. Government didn't help whatsoever, but they sure made sure that they showed up and put up a gate to block the people.
Captain here, coming to you from Greensboro, North Carolina. Through the trees right there, you can see there is a FEMA camp here. U.S. taxpayers paid $50 million to build 800 homes for illegal immigrants. That facility across the street from me is not available for survivors of Hurricane Helene to stay in those 800 homes. They're not occupied by any illegal immigrants. It's just occupied by FEMA. So sitting there are 800 housing units with heat, running water, and sewage for Hurricane Helene survivors here in Western North Carolina. But yet not one survivor family is being brought out of the cold by FEMA, your federal government, or your governor. It's time for you to start writing letters. Yes, writing letters, because that's all you can really do. However, if the federal government, from the President of the United States, our lame duck, waste of flesh president, who's doing nothing for North Carolina, Eastern Tennessee, Georgia, or Florida from Hurricane Helene or Milton. But you can write those letters. I posted mine yesterday from Joe Biden. He claimed that Hurricane Helene was a result of climate change. So basically a 19-year-old liberal intern wrote a letter back and stamped it with Joe Biden's name on the bottom of it. It was useless. Your efforts, however, are not useless because your voice matters. This is a government for the people and by the people. If you flood the federal government from the president, your senators, your congressmen, your state representatives, your county officials, and yes, your waste of flesh, Governor Roy Cooper, they will be forced to do something.
Something I've heard said quite often about the situation here in Western North Carolina is, well, those people have been taken care of. Some of the people who say it live thousands of miles away. They've never been here. They're just uninformed. Some of the people who say it are in the disaster zone. And I could never quite understand what they meant by it, considering the situation so many are in. 100,000 or more homes destroyed, people living in tents, some still without water. Didn't make sense to me. But then it dawned on me. People just have a different definition of what it means to be taken care of. For the fire department, it was, well, we saw them after the storm. Their heart's still beating. They're alive. They've been taken care of. For a lot of us supply runners and laborers, it was, we dropped them off 2 weeks worth of propane and gas, a month worth of food, and cut their driveway out. They've been taken care of. I realized today on December 1st, until these people are standing on their 2 feet strong like they were before, they haven't been taken care of. And we need to recognize that.
Bit of her story about what she's been experiencing here in North Carolina in regards to, the captain has said over and over again, the mathematics just don't work. You have 126,000 houses that were wiped from planet Earth here in North Carolina. There's no way that the body count is 250. So Diane, when I told you that number was 250 recorded, you have personal experience in just the rescues alone that you have done. So will you tell us, please, from start to today, what you and Jacob have been experiencing?
Well, what I experienced, Jacob alone has 43 bodies under him. I have 19. I brought down, there were 600 body bags that was filled the first day. So their numbers is way off. And then I brought in another 13, dropped them off at Restoration Church in Swananoa, and then I went and got another 75 body bags. Every one of those body bags have people in them. So even at that count, we are still talking, I'm predicting 3,000.
Well, projections federally are between 9,000 and 12,000 right now in regards to information we've got from the 14,000 volunteers that are remaining here in Western North Carolina.
For any of y'all that are tired of hearing about Western North Carolina, I can't shut up because this is my home. This is Old Fort Elementary School. Looks all right from the outside till you see the restoration truck. And thank you, Belfour, for helping us save that elementary school. And then you see the house back here. And if I lift my camera up, you can see the water line on that house. And that's why there's no glass in those windows. And then you can see these neighbors here trying to save this brick house. And you can see right here behind that house, a trailer had washed up, and there it sits. And you look on down the street and you see all the debris. And y'all, this is November 25th, 2024. We are right at 2 months after Hurricane Helene, and it still looks like a third world war zone because the debris got to get picked up. We got to have contractors, and to make all that happen, you need money. And so I did some looking because I keep hearing from our elected officials that there's just no money for this, and they're doing the best they can. Well, if the best that you can do is this, then I respectfully request as a taxpayer that you do better. And so I did some math looking up, because as a realtor, I'm very good with math, and I looked it up. And right now in North Carolina, there is an influx center in Greensboro. That's where they put the illegal immigrants for housing, I guess. And there is a grant just for security, y'all, just for security at the immigrant center in Greensboro, and their outlay for 20 and 24, $5,010,000 against a projected outlay of $22 million. So I would respectfully request that every one of you bureaucrats and elected officials in DC and in North Carolina and wherever you have a say in it, take the dollars away from security for that center and give it to the taxpayers of North Carolina to help every town like Old Fort come back and help these areas come back without running people off. They don't want to leave their communities. Let our neighbors live where they want to live. Bring back the liberty, bring back the freedom, and for heaven's sake, stop wasting the money when it should be spent on those who put it in the kitty to start with.
So it looks like we have a massive blizzard coming to the Carolinas, and at what cost? Because it's going right to Asheville. Kind of weird, right? So this is done by Into Thin Air. I've been watching him for a while. He's always on point with this kind of stuff. And he's saying that I think the 10th and 11th of December, that we'll be getting 8 to 12 inches all the way down to Georgia as well. So all the way up here, all the way down to here. But then again, Asheville. Do you know what's going on in Asheville right now? If you don't, you should probably go search it. And I'm about to show you something else very odd as well. The temperature changing in broad daylight out of nowhere. And I don't know where y'all are, but where I am, it's literally in the 20s. I mean, they keep saying it's getting hotter and hotter, but look at this. This is not normal for South Carolina. In December, it doesn't seem like it's getting warmer. It just seems like every category of storm is getting worse for this time of the year. And something in Tennessee is changing the weather. So this dude was hanging outside. It was a clear day. And all of a sudden, this great smog comes up, covers the sun, and drops at 10 degrees. One thing is for sure is that Asheville has way too much to handle, and the weather this year has been completely erratic.
Unfortunately, they found 2 women that had washed down here, and they had already notified my son that we had passed away. We were listed as deceased. And then, like, Sunday afternoon, my son was like, he was watching the news, and he went, "There's Mom getting airlifted on a Chinook helicopter." You know, he saw it on television because they found one lady. She was leaving Craigtown up here with 11 people got killed, and she was trying to get out. Yeah. And when that thing hit her, it snapped her neck, and then she went through the windshield. And coming down through, this is really bad, coming down through the current, it ended up cutting her. And they found her body over here, and they found another lady over here. And they could tell they were women, and they thought it was us. So they were not, pronounced us dead. I'm 74. My sister, Cynthia Dunn, she's 75. We had just put in this 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, a handicapped bathroom, handicapped shower, handicapped kitchen, the walls widened, everything. And then on September 28th, that morning, I came out and the water was like this deep. And I ran up there to move the car, and I came back and the water went up. When I went inside the house to tell my sister we need to go, the first log hit and just shattered the laundry room. And then I turned around and it was like a ginormous, like a 20-foot wave. Just, we got torpedoed by giant logs everywhere. And it just, split the house in all kinds of sections. I pushed my sister onto a mattress.
And so she grabbed the dog, and we jumped on the mattress, and not knowing what was going to happen. We didn't know if another timber was going to hit us again and again. So that was really scary because most of the house was gone then.
We grabbed the little dog and we went like 4 miles down the river until we were half a mile from the waterfall, and we hit a giant a pile of rubble bigger than that, and the bed snapped in half, throwing me out. Then when I got up, I was trying to find my sister, and she was in this whirlpool of like this thick of like installation. It took me an hour to pull her up. I've like messed both my shoulders up, so I gotta have 2 shoulder replacement. We stayed there for 2 days and nights until they found us the following day.
So we had to stay, in the water 2 nights, and it was very frightful.
It took these men 45 minutes to cut through all this rubble to get to us.
I was exhausted.
It was so scary because when it got night, then I started thinking about water moccasins and I started like thinking all kind of like, because it was so. That's the scariest I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
And it never stopped. It was crackling and snapping, glass breaking all night. That's all you heard. And then they put us to the church and helicoptered us out to Asheville, and we stayed in a homeless shelter there for like 2 weeks, and then we got moved to the Quality Inn in Black Mountain until these wonderful people here brought us 2 homes.
So right there, where that
that's what's left
that was your porch. That was the front porch where they're sitting that camper now. That was the front porch.
I lost everything. All my family pictures, all my son's baby pictures, all my antiques, everything I had collected in my 74 years on earth.
You said the home was pretty much torn into pieces.
Oh, it was shattered.
Where is it now?
Oh, it's like 4 miles down the river. It's way down there. It just looks like it was bombed.
Oh my God, how beautiful. This is amazing.
I didn't know they were like this. I had no idea.
I'm so happy for you.
Did you see how nice they are?
They're beautiful.
Wow.
Oh, another bedroom.
Really?
Oh, that's the same.
Oh my goodness.
For 2 months, people have promised to help us. I mean, they have promised everything. Nobody has helped us except you guys.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank
man.
you for helping us.
I've had so much fun.
Praise Jesus.
Praise Jesus.
These two, you guys, I wish you could have been here to meet them in person. They are so much fun. We're going to be coming back and we're going to be blessing them with some more stuff, because you know what? They were just telling me that people have been promising them the world and haven't showed up with anything. They said that we've been one of the only ones that has actually showed up in their situation. So we're going to come back and bless them some more. But I just wanted y'all to see, man, this is what y'all are doing when y'all send us these campers. God bless you, and God bless these two. My gosh.
Thank you.
We had no home. We had nowhere to go.
Nowhere. And winter's setting in. So this is a blessing.
We only had like, what, 12 days left to find somewhere to live?
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
The Lord knew what he was doing. He sure
I've been
did.
on this land for 36 years. I'm just like, you know.
Yeah. Oh man, you guys go to anchorage.org. Help us keep doing this. These guys, I'm gonna go spend some more time with them. Y'all be blessed. Have a good night.
Thank you so much, Josh.
You have
and the
no idea
church
what
and
this
everybody.
means. Everyone.
Everybody
I mean,
that's helped.
Hi, my name is Deborah. I'm on TikTok as Cat Mommy 2. I'm 66 years old, disabled, widowed, no family. I do have my 2 precious cats. And I found out this morning that in less than a week, I'm going to be homeless. I have no one to help me. I've reached out to every available charity in my area, but unfortunately, I'm a victim of Hurricane Helene in South Carolina, and there are no funds. FEMA won't even help. The tiny studio apartment I've got right now was damaged, and I have black mold in my apartment, and they won't fix it, and they told me they don't have any place to move me to. So the only other option for me is to move out. And I told them I couldn't afford to move out. So they took me to court and evicted me this morning. And within a week, I will be served with papers from the sheriffs giving me 24 hours to move out. I just want a roof over my head. I have a car. It's not in the best shape, but I don't want to live in my car. And I don't want to give up my 2 precious cats. They're all I've got. And I'm scared to ask for help because I'm not a beggar on TikTok. I truly just have needs for myself. I'm scheduled to have 2 surgeries next week. Now I can't have that done. So I don't know how to ask for help. I've never done this before. If someone would please help me just to relocate somewhere safe so that I'm not on the streets and I'm not going hungry. That's all I want. I'm not a drug user. I don't need money for food because I do get food stamps. But if I have to live in my car, I have no place to cook. I have no place to shower. And I'm honestly just scared right now. Thank you for listening to me. I appreciate all my friends that I have on TikTok. God is good, and I know He will look out for me. But I just want to get someplace safe. Thank you.
It's about 15 degrees below the normal temp for this time of year, and that's just added another layer of misery to the recovery here. Like the destruction you can see behind me, a lot of people have lost their homes, and the RVs and the tents some are living in right now are just no match for this weather. What do you need?
Just people to come check on us.
Emotions are raw here. Steve Krau's home was destroyed. He lived in this tent for weeks before moving to a camper van amid dropping temperatures. Shauna Levine's family has spent 2 months in this shelter. Mom, dad, and 7 children, alongside dozens of others who lost housing during Helene.
How do you think your kids are doing?
They're struggling, but they're managing it well. It definitely has affected them in the aspect of losing everything.
Everyone here needs to move out by the end of the month. The lease on the space is up, even though winter weather is just beginning, and the need across western North Carolina is staggering. Amid the daily struggles, progress, and hope, Levine and her family will leave the shelter this week for 2 camper vans, not a permanent home, but one step closer.